Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Welcome into Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Beautiful, beautiful Thursday night. 3 more days, fellas, until the Detroit Lions play their first home game in Ford Field. First one at home in Detroit since the 90s.
Wow.
Crazy.
Featuring the Lions.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wild.
Crazy.
Antoine Randall, the wide receivers coach. I know the Lions weren't involved, but the
Super Bowl.
Steelers, Seahawks, the last Jerome Bettis game, Super Bowl win. Antoine Randall throwing a touchdown pass.
Yep.
Wide receiver Antoine Randall, former quarterback, Indiana University. Dude, it's happening on Sunday. It's coming.
And we're
like coming.
I don't know if that was
Pause out
necessary.
the gate.
Wait, it's
Jesus.
definitely not necessary.
I don't know if that was necessary.
Well, yeah, but we're having fun, aren't we?
Oh, we're having a blast,
In
man.
the nighttime.
In the nighttime, man. My name is Booner, as always. Matt Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter. We've got the full crew in the house. KG over there in the TD booth. KG, how you feeling today?
Hey, I'm good, man. You want to know what I've been seeing all day? The narrative of the day?
What is that?
Lions on upset alert, man. I've been seeing a lot of people pick the Rams, man. PFF. I saw some stuff on Bleacher Report. Mike Florio, Chris Sims. You know how they do. So
Yeah, the public's on the Rams.
yeah, man.
You know what they say? Detroit versus everybody.
Oh yeah, all day long. But
Literally.
just looking forward to the game Sunday. Nick, how you feeling, man?
Speaking of Detroit versus everybody, we got Detroit versus Edmonton right now. Huge Wings game. Hopefully
Love
the
this
Red
man.
Wings pick up a dub here. Still
Oh,
just
man.
walking. Great pep in the step after the Michigan Natty. But time's moving slowly going towards this game. I'm fired up for it. I know everybody in the city of Detroit cannot wait, but time's moving pretty weird right now. We're just waiting to get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this has felt like since Michigan's won the Natty, when I like that whole champagne celebration, all of that felt like it was like 2 weeks ago. And it's been
real.
like 3 days. And
Sunday's going to feel so long.
Oh, my gosh.
8:15 game on Sunday night.
I don't know. We're not doing a pregame show until 5:30. So it's gonna be a long weekend, man. A long week. I mean, 3 more days. It's felt like 2 weeks. This next 3 days is gonna feel like another 2 weeks. I'm ready for it. Like KG said, all of the public right now is on the Rams. Every time I've turned on ESPN the other day while I was at work, and it was sitting up there above me, and they did the teams that can make it a surprise trip to the Super Bowl or one and done teams. And guess who most of them picked for their one and done teams? The Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
So that narrative is started, and guess what? I kind of love the narrative because before the season, when we started our show September 5th, and we started going over before the game that week and all of the preseason stuff, we like fit it in as fast as we could. That was something that we noticed was there was only about 3 or 4 national media people who were really on the Detroit Lions. Everyone else was clowning the Lions like, yeah, they have to prove it to us. They'll never get there. People were not saying we weren't going to win the division. There was just a lot going on with it. It's that feeling again.
Yes.
Every time the Lions are on the national stage this year, they end up getting clowned, and then they end up clowning the people who clown them.
Yes. Shout out Louis Riddick. Shout out Mina Kimes. Shout out Dan Orlovsky.
Yep.
There might be 1 or 2 more, but those are the first 3 that come to mind. And we know whose side Shane Daniels on. He's all Lions all the time. He also just hit 3 months as a member at Woodward
let's
Sports.
go.
So Shane Daniels, the man, he's in here all the time. We appreciate you, dog.
Shout out Shane Daniels,
Shout
man.
out.
Hey, as you guys come in, hit that like button and go share the stream with someone. Tell someone about the show tonight. Let's grow this thing a person at a time, man. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Breaking news on the NFL today. I don't know if I'm sure all of you guys already know. Legendary coach Bill Belichick kind of parts ways with the New England Patriots. I watched the press conference live because it was one of those things like the Nick Saban thing. He's the greatest NFL coach of all time, of our generation, and he's going to still coach, but just having that, like, we all grew up watching the Patriots and the dynasty, so he kind of goes away. Do you have a spot? I have 2 teams I think he goes to.
What are your 2 teams?
I just think wherever he goes, it's going to be like a team that already has like a legit roster or something he can work with. And I think right now the two teams that are available, I guess three actually, but one, the Chargers, they have a quarterback. They have, they have what it's kind of the pieces of being great. So I think the Chargers, the Raiders, they have the pieces with Max Crosby, Devontae Adams. I think that's one. And the one that just popped in my head was obviously the Seahawks. I didn't think about that until just now. But
interesting.
I think he goes to a team that needs to be put together already. Like the Falcons, that's the rumor. Don't see that. Like I just don't see him going into like a rebuild situation.
What about Washington?
No, there was announced that they are not going after him.
Oh, okay.
Good
for them.
That was today.
That's probably smart of them. It kind of seems like a good fit, but if they're trying to like really start new, start fresh, they probably want to go more like Ben Johnson version of a head coach than Bill Belichick. It's weird. There's no denying Bill Belichick's the best of all time, or if not top two. I never really liked it. It's a weird feeling. I didn't like him. He was an incredible football coach, but just he didn't really give much to the media. He's just kind of a quiet, boring guy.
He just was about business.
No doubt.
Saban's the same way, though.
Yeah.
Like Saban never, until the Pat McAfee show this year, I don't remember Saban ever being like, I'll go do these interviews willingly and like I'll go out. Like that was just like, it felt like it was this year. I think he knew like at the beginning of the year, like this might be it. So he was like, hey, let's just do some things. I'll go on the Pat McAfee.
Plus a couple $dollar bills.
Some money. I'm sure he gets some money as well.
Some money. He gets $1 million.
The Aflac commercials. Imagine if I was thinking this today. I saw a Dion thing with Dion and
$50 million.
Saban, and everyone was saying Dion might go to Bama. Like I still think Lane Kiffin's it, but
it's not going to happen. No, not the Bama. That maybe I don't. It's not going to happen. But I think how cool it would be if Dion was the coach at Michigan. Like it's not gonna happen, so this isn't some prediction or whatever. But with that culture they have now, they just seem like cool, like Jordan Brand. They got the Buffs. They were national champ. Like he would, if I were Colorado and that happened, or if he left after 1 year,
oh my gosh,
after completely getting rid of that roster,
that you can do that for though. Like Bama is like the holy grail of coaching. Nick Saban's turned it into that to where Bama is like the best job in college football, almost football. Like that is like the job.
If I said Michigan, that would be totally biased, right?
Yeah.
Is that top 2 or top 3?
It's top 5, top 3.
Okay,
I'd say top 3 actually. Yeah,
okay.
Top 3.
Fair.
It's just at Bama, he won 6 national championship there. They had like unlimited money down there in the SEC and at Alabama. Like that is like that's why I said yesterday you're going to see guys like Sarkisian at Texas, the Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, Dan Lanning over at Oregon. Like that was, his name was in there and he said no. But like you're going to see one of those big time people leave their jobs
Washington
for that.
Coach.
When you think
staying.
I think there was an Oregon coach that came out with that video.
Yeah, but I think Washington. I saw a report.
Washington came out as well.
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny that you have to do that now. It's like say that. Oh no! Like come out with a big video to say that. Oh, I'm not going. Yeah.
From a brand building perspective, do you not associate like when I think Alabama football, I immediately think Nick Saban.
Yeah, that's why I'm interested to see who they pick.
It's
a big deal.
That is a big deal because the next person, there's a whole new brand that needs like to me, it actually is more about Nick Saban than Alabama football. When I think Michigan football, I don't think of Jim Harbaugh as a whole. I think of the block end. Again, that might be biased, but
no. I mean, how big? I mean, Alabama was probably good before Saban. I'm sure they were, but like Nick Saban put them like up there on that level. That was what he did for Bama. I don't know. That's why I think it's like a Lane Kiffin, a guy who was an Alabama guy who's been an extremely good coach. He's been under Saban multiple times. I think it's the perfect fit.
We know one thing: they don't want Dabo.
No, did you guys see the chants and everything?
Yeah, it was crazy.
That was nuts. Broder, there's a chat here for you to read. Mike Hilton put a chat in there. A member for 8 months. He would like you to read it. He said. You might have to scroll up a bit.
I did not see the Dabo thing. Anyone fill me in?
It was just so they were doing like at Nick Saban's statue. They were putting like flowers. It looked like they died basically, but they were like chanting, "We don't give us Dabo or something."
Yeah, anybody but Dabo.
Yeah, anybody but Dabo.
That's hilarious.
It was a great video. Did you want to read that, Dab?
I do. Mike Hilton, member for 8 months. Mike's the dude. I like Mike a lot. I'm so bricked up I could convert a church nun.
Yeah, he kept putting Booner read that. Booner
Mike.
read that.
You don't want to read it?
Nah, I didn't want to read
Send it over to the half Jew.
I'd send it to you. Yeah.
All right.
One thing too with all this
Love you,
kind
Mike.
of NFL coaching, the carousel and everything. Today, actually, Ben Johnson and AG both were asked about it, and I loved both of the responses. They both basically said the same exact thing. They shut it down instantly and said, and this was like the worry, I think, like even Easy on the other show, like these guys, everyone throughout all these like shows, national media is like, this can affect a team if a coach is like taking interviews and doing interviews. They're basically like, listen, I'm not talking about this. We are focused on the playoffs. We're focused. They look like word for word, almost like, don't care about that. It's a pleasure that we're in all these conversations. Don't care until we're out of the playoffs. We are going ahead right now. We are in the playoffs. I even after the the divisional, that's when those coaches can start interviewing. I have a feeling both of those guys will just say, if you guys want to interview us, you have to wait until after we lose or we win a Super Bowl.
And
one of the two.
I would love for them to do that.
Yeah,
I do get that feeling too.
That show
they should just make the rule. You should just wait till after the season anyway. And I get there are teams that are out of the playoffs now and they got to make decisions and stuff, but
the thing is, I think actually,
don't lose.
To be honest, if I'm like an organization like the Commanders or like the Tennessee Titans, and Ben Johnson hits me back or Aaron Glenn hits me back, and it's like, hey, I'll take the interview. You're going to have to wait until after we win the Super Bowl. If I hear that from a candidate, I'm like, oh, I want him.
Forget the interview. You're hired.
You're hired. Like, I want that. I want him.
I want you.
Yeah, like
I want it. I want it. I want it.
If I heard that, I would be like,
I want it. I want it. I want it.
Shout out,
Chris.
Also, too, I was at Fort Field actually yesterday, fellas.
I saw the little picture you posted.
I was near Fort Field, so sometimes I'm able to go there for lunch because they have some restaurants open there and stuff. So I went there for lunch the other day, and I looked down at the field and I saw a sign up there that says divisional round or super wild card weekend, and I'm like, this is unbelievable. They're setting up for the thing, and you guys see it here. Look at what they're doing at Fort Field this week. Look how beautiful that looks on the Fort Field grass.
Long time coming.
I think I just saw CD Deuce tweet about that.
Wild card on the field. That is unbelievable, fellas. That gets my
thanks for getting me hard, JB.
some chills.
No, it's happening.
It gets me some chills, a little bit of chills, man. I'm excited. I cannot wait.
That's it. CJ Gardner-Johnson tweeted in pictures of that. So beautiful. City deserves these moments in all caps.
Oh my gosh! And we have a segment at 8:30 to tease ahead a little bit. That's in regards to CJ Gardner-Johnson. Penei Sewell also had something to say, and Jared Goff had something to say about these moments for the Detroit Lions and in the city and the fans. We're doing that at 8:30. 8:15, we're going to get into some little bit of injury report. There's some news. There's a couple things here that we could talk about and kind of dive into. 8:45, fellas. We're going to talk the secondary. Broder, you text me, and I thought it was a good idea talking about this secondary, especially. We could break the news now. Jerry Jacobs put the tweet out. In KGD, if you have that, or if you don't, no big deal. But he put a tweet out that basically said it was like "Appreciate you, Detroit" or something like that.
Thank you, Detroit, with the blue heart.
Yeah, and it was like out of nowhere. And I know Jerry. My thought was, last 4 or 5 weeks, he really didn't play much. He was getting reps here and there, and then he was also injured throughout those 4 weeks. And then you hit me with the news. If you want to share the news that you kind of hit me with, that
I can't share it officially, but
not officially.
Yeah.
Can I share it unofficially from my source that I don't know who it's from?
No.
I mean, you kind of just gave it away.
Yeah, no, that's nothing. It's just Jerry. Obviously, this is what happened because Easy did say it on the heavyweights that he did DM with Jerry.
There's your source.
Yes.
What did he
Jerry,
say?
It sounded like it was more so of an injury situation to where, obviously, with this, when you go into the playoffs, roster moves happen, and you have to make sure you have enough guys and kind of flopping around. And if he's been injured the last 3 or 4 weeks, that thigh injury, so it seems like that might be what happened to where he's been on and off the injury report and
thighs like
maybe
what,
going
what,
to the IR.
what?
Maybe it's just like, hey, there's only 4 weeks left.
Yeah, they need space in that secondary. It's not as deep as it once was. No Emmanuel Mosley, no Jerry Jacobs for a lot of time. So roster management heading into the playoffs is a thing.
It is, and some guys it's going to hit them, especially if you're injured. It's like it's a bad deal. I wonder if he's able just to still be with the team.
That's the first thing that went through my head. It's like regardless of the decision, can you picture being on a team, whether you play all the snaps or 0 snaps, you make it to week 18, you win the NFC North, you're getting ready for your first playoff game ever, and something happens and you can't be a part of it?
Yeah, and he's been with the team for undrafted. Like, he's been with the team and he's worked.
There should be no Jerry Jacobs slant. He's had his moments, and he's had his moments that people have in he hasn't played well in certain times.
I mean,
but dude, he's been a part.
Game?
Like Bugs, he's been a part of this turn. He contributed to where the Lions are now. So we'll see what the final result of the roster management is, but he should be at least celebrated or wished well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And it wasn't great down the stretch, but he was here, and there was the beef here. He even came at us a little bit last year. So there's always been
He's part of that culture that we talk about.
He is. Yeah, he is. But that was interesting to see him kind of tweet that out. That seems to be like it's been a thing this year. Like Bugs tweeting out before anything like anyone knows anything. It's just like guys just like tweeting.
But the team's got to go through the proper channels to report things to the NFL and to make sure it all works with the with everything that goes into the roster. But when they have the meetings with the players and if they're not going to be with the team the next day, like if they're going right to their phone and they're tweeting something because they want some attention.
Yeah,
and I don't mean that in a negative way. They just natural reaction. Man, I'm pissed, or I'm upset, or disappointed, or a legitimate just thank you, Detroit. Like,
that's what it
who
felt
knows?
Like
It didn't seem like anything. He didn't put anything negative.
Shout
in
out
there.
Jerry though, man.
Yeah, shout out Jerry.
Shout
JJ.
out. He held it down at points throughout the season.
Think about last year. He was the only guy.
Yeah.
After Tracy Walker went out, like Jerry Jacobs held that secondary down in that 8-2
Okuda
stretch.
Here and there, but he definitely was out there making play. That's why it was surprising to me to kind of see that drop off and now injuries. All right, when we come back, we're going to dive into more of these injuries. We have a couple videos here from Sam Laporta as well as Amon-Ra St. Brown talking about this game coming up. So we're going to get into some injury news, the breakdown, all of that. I believe Nick.
Yep.
Tell us about Big Boy.
Yes, sir. Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort chicken bowl. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The classic lumberjack or Santa Fe garden. Also, new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with a new gingerbread shake for dessert. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
R.I.P. to the same old Lions. Big thanks to Sheila, Brad, and Dan for putting them to rest. Guess what else has found the grave? The same old rock, paper, scissors. Jack Labrador has revolutionized that tired game with 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. Discover the action at jacklabrador.gg now and find out why once you go Jack, you never go back.
Whoa! All right, welcome back. Woodward Nights with
back.
Booner and Broder. Appreciate you guys all tuning in here on the Woodward Sports Network. If you guys can, that like button that's sitting in front of you, smack it for us. Hit it a couple times. Well, actually, just hit it once because if you hit it a couple times, I think it takes it off. Just hit the like button for us. Let's get up to 200 likes here at the end of the show here.
Me too, Mr. Detroit City. Me too.
What was
Feel
that?
free to read it if you want.
I don't have it open.
Okay, I
right
will.
now.
Mr. Detroit City. I've got a raging Booner right now thinking about Sunday.
Hey, the
Hey,
Booner Path, baby.
Booner
Let's
Path.
go. I appreciate that. Let's go. I've been seeing the Booner Path take off throughout other shows and stuff. That's all of you guys. Keep that thing rolling, because guess what? We're going after a Super Bowl, and there will be a Super Bowl winning team in Detroit very, very soon. I can guarantee you guys that.
We got some guys saying Lions are going to get cooked.
Who's saying
Puka
that?
and Cup, our boy Etienne, and Jeff Olson, our
Etienne.
Buccaneers boy, who we might see at some point in the playoffs. Jeff Olson's from Tampa.
You did have the Bucs at number 4 in your rankings, so maybe we'll see them in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, you never know.
That was one of the best all-time moments of the show.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was one of the best moments of the show.
That was fun.
All right, let's do this. Injury report. It was kind of big again, but it's like not bad. I don't understand the injury report situation. I think there's just so many precautions and so many guys have been put on it just to kind of throw out there what is going on and make sure people. A lot of practices though. A lot of people are back at practice today, more than there was yesterday. That is for sure.
Yeah, I take this as good news.
Oh my gosh! Did you guys see there on the right there that Thursday? There is how many people in full practice? Almost everyone.
Yeah, you think Teddy Bridgewater, literally just a personal day, not an injury. Jerry Jacobs, thigh injury, we just talked about him. Khalif Raymond, we didn't expect to be back this week. But then there's Sam Laporta, who is no practice, but as reported on Twitter, I think it was Dave Burkett.
A couple of different people. Danny Rogers threw it out there. It was like a couple
Dave,
of people
Danny, Colton, Nolan, Justin reported, and that wasn't down in Allen Park. That's why I'm got to give them credit. They reported that Sam Laporta was out in the practice field doing something, not practicing, but doing some things around the team. And he said he felt optimistic, I think the phrase was.
Yeah, so I do have that video.
Perfect.
KG, if you want to play it whenever you got it, let me know, and we will throw that up there because Sam Laporta broke it down. It's very good news.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like the best. Like the number one question I think all of us going into this week was obviously the matchup. You can break the game down all you want, but it was like, is Sam Laporta playing, and does he have a chance at all to come back? Because do you remember 2 days ago when Dan Campbell said it's kind of a long shot? I don't think we'll be able to get him back. But if when we beat the Rams the next week, then listen to what Sam Laporta has to say about kind of his injury now.
Got some reps today at practice, starting to feel better day by day, and see where it takes me tomorrow, and really just taking it day at a time. Because when it first happened, it didn't feel great, and I feel like I've started to bounce back quickly, so we'll see.
You're optimistic.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. We'll see.
You said you got some reps. Can you explain just the sense of relief? I mean, just the initial moment versus when you were able to get it tested and find out what the diagnosis was?
It was certainly a little scary when it first happened. I mean, I think everybody had probably seen a picture of it. There was definitely a sigh of relief when I found out structurally everything was good. So,
you said you got some reps at practice today. Can you explain what you were able to do, what you're maybe still not able to do?
I mean, I was taking the same blocking reps that we do in our individual drill. I was getting reps of those. Ran some routes with Jared. So, yeah.
Feels good now? I mean,
I'm working through it. It's the best way to say it.
Were you getting treatment while we were watching?
Yeah, I was getting treatment. I was getting it warmed up to get out there on the field and just make it feel the best as it could. And went out there and got after it a little bit.
All right, couple things with that. First of all, what did you say while we were listening to it? You want to throw that out
He's
there?
a total Dan Campbell guy.
100%.
And he sounds like him now, too. It's
great.
great.
His interviews, it's like media training, and it's like the media training isn't like actual people training. It's just, hey, let's sit in a room with Dan Campbell, and Dan's going to teach you how to talk to the media.
Yep, that Lions PR team, they did win the Pete Rozelle Award for best PR team in the NFL.
Yep.
This season, it was 4 last season, but they're epic.
Shout out Colton Pouncey as well.
That was Colton.
That was Colton's video.
He's the athletic Lions reporter.
Yep, appreciate Colton for that. With that, though, being said, 2 things. First thing, as I was watching the Heavies, they played that same video, and they were pretty optimistic, saying that they think that that Sam Laporta will play. Mm-hmm. There's another side to it, and you talk about this all the time, Broder. It's gamesmanship. And how good can these guys, and we've seen this throughout the year actually. Like, do you remember Taylor Decker earlier this year? I think it might have been the Green Bay game. There was a game earlier this year where Taylor Decker, everyone thought he was going to end up playing. He was coming back from injury. It was like his 2nd or 3rd week being out, and everyone's like, oh, Taylor Decker's back. Like, we need him. I think we might have lost a game. We need Taylor Decker back. And all week long, Taylor Decker literally told everyone in the media, I'm playing. There's nothing that's going to stop me from playing. And then on Sunday, when the injury report came out, Taylor Decker out.
Yeah.
So there's two sides of it to me. One, it's Sam Laporta. Maybe this injury is coming through faster than people expected. I've listened to a couple different shows and a couple like E&E had someone on.
That's what I was going to say. Check out E&E around like the 3:30 mark. They had Dr. Jeff Pierce, I believe his name is, talking about this injury, and he was pretty optimistic and gave all the things surrounding it, like, hey, this is what you need to worry about, but really it's up to his pain tolerance and stuff.
And that's
they'll give him a little shot,
Chris
little
Long
something.
as well. The Heavies brought up Chris Long, and they talked about this injury as well and said that one of the Long brothers had the same thing, and all they had to do was drain some blood out, and it's just like it's just pain that you have to deal with, and it's like, can you deal with that pain? So it's that, like, that's the optimistic side to where it's okay, maybe he's going to play and he'll play through the pain. I see Sam Laporta doing that. He's a dog. We already know that. But on the other side is Dan Campbell and the guys telling him, hey, if you might not actually be able to go, you probably won't go. Let's put it in the media. Let's try and just like don't say anything, because obviously you can get fined for that and things can happen. But kind of like Taylor Decker did earlier this year, like, hey, nothing's stopping me. I'm going to be out there. Don't worry.
Nothing can stop me.
And then he gets put on the injury report. So I'm interested because he didn't practice today. That is a worry still.
Right. I think if he can play, and Dan Campbell and the medical staff think that the chances of a more serious injury are very limited, he'll play. If they think, if there's even a decent amount of chance that this could affect him in any way long term, this is where they got to protect their players and say, you are a huge part, and we could use you against the Rams, but I gotta look out for you. You're a Pro Bowl. You're the best rookie tight end in the history of NFL.
Yeah, like if he has to sit out 1 week to avoid a major injury, I'm okay with that, because I feel like I have confidence in this Lions team and this coaching staff that they will beat the Rams without Sam Laporta. Obviously, it gives you that a cushion, and it helps you out a lot more with an all-pro tight end. But if there's any chance whatsoever, sit out.
Yeah,
sit out, because I think they could beat this team without him.
Yeah.
Now, if there's no long-term injury and it's just pain, I want him out there.
Yes.
And whether he can make the plays that he's made all year, because he's going to get another week off once you win. Like, he's going to get that week off as well to get back. But blocking-wise, he's a big part of that.
Huge.
And as well as just being a decoy out there. Like, they don't need to know what his pain tolerance and what they're going to use him for. But him just being out there, he's an all-pro tight end. He's gonna take some defenders away, and people are gonna be eyeing in on him. And if they no, I'm just saying, like, if they don't do that, even if he's hurt, he's going to make you, like, even if he doesn't have the mobility and what he had before.
Decoy, like J-Mo earlier in the season.
It's going to make you pay still.
They've got their secondary blows, but their linebacker crew, including their outside linebackers, that's where their real talent is. And then the defensive line also. But if you can take some of their linebacker talent just with him as a decoy, that's just that much more that the offense can do, whether it's running with Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery or finding another receiver.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see throughout the week then, like tomorrow. Like, I had actually someone at work today ask me, like, is Laporta going to play? And I just said, Friday you're going to find out. When that injury report comes out tomorrow, the game status is, I think he's going to be questionable. Does Dan Campbell speak to the media tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, I think you're going to get a little bit more of an answer then.
Yeah, he said Friday afternoon was when they would probably know more certain.
Yep.
They probably know for sure by Friday afternoon.
And you know what sucks too is if he's questionable and he doesn't give you any or give us anything
that's
tomorrow,
when it's going to happen.
It's going to come down. You're not going to find out until literally 90 minutes before 8:15 on Sunday. Like, that's going to be brutal. Just and you know what? That's what they want the Rams. That's what they want the Rams to think.
Yeah,
they're like, oh my gosh,
sucks for us, sucks for the fans, but it's best for the team.
Man.
Yeah, let's go.
Gamesmanship. David Witt said, wait, Booner works? I do. I work probably from like 7 a.m. until like 11 p.m. every single day. So I don't stop working. You should be asking, Booner, why don't you not work? I don't know if that made sense, but
yeah. No, Booner's a hardworking man. And that's just when you start working. You have to drive an hour and a half.
I'm out by
you're
5:36.
Yeah, last person here, first person there.
I don't get home till midnight. Let's move on from that. I don't think there's any other injury things.
No, it was good things. Brock Wright practiced full. The most of the linemen or all the linemen practiced full. So it's good news. It's that day off yesterday for a lot of those guys was for this, so they can get back into it today and have one more practice to get ready for Sunday against the Rams.
Fully out.
Yeah, I think so. Not official. I mean, they haven't.
Did they even say what happened? Because it didn't was it like a knee to knee or was it like a?
they haven't not exactly what happened, but they said from the start it's a little more serious than Sam Laporta. Like it's at least a couple weeks.
That is brutal. I love Leaf, man.
Yeah.
Real quick before we do go to break, I want to play this video because this is going to kind of tease the next segment. Our next segment, a lot of these guys, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Penei, Jared Goff, they've been making comments about this football team, and we've talked all week about this. I tuned into BDE today, and they kind of were having a handful of segments about the meaning of this playoff game and this playoff run for Detroit. And I texted a few people, brother, and I was like, I don't think we could talk. Like, you can't talk too much about what's happening in Detroit on Sunday. Like, we could do a million segments on this, and I don't think I will never get old of it because this is like such an insane time for the Lions fans. So leading into this segment, I want to show you guys a video just kind of what this culture means right now and what these guys' mindset is. Amon-Ra St. Brown kind of went over his Jared Goff, like how he feels about attacking this for Jared Goff. And just as a teammate, Broder, it's unbelievable what these guys have going.
Yeah.
So here's Amon-Ra St. Brown on beating the Rams for Jared Goff.
Personally, for me, I definitely do. As a team, we want to win. Obviously, it's not about Stafford or Jared. It's about this team and they're taking 1 week at a time. But if you ask me personally, I definitely want to win. Win it for him because I know. He might not tell the media or what, but I think it's within every player. You come from a team that, first round pick, went to the Super Bowl, and then gets traded. If you ask anyone, they're going to feel some type of way. So for me, I want to go win it for him. It fires me up that he's playing his old team. I'm excited for him. And shoot, I want to do it for him as much as I do for the whole team.
All right, you guys heard it there. Shout out to Nolan Bianchi for that. I'm not sure who he's with. You do probably, Broder. I'm not 100% sure.
News?
He might be. But shout out Nolan. Nolan, he's been on the heavyweights a couple times. Great dude. Shout out to him for that. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, you guys heard it there, fellas. These guys are playing for each other. And like he said, whether Jared Goff will admit it or not, he's got a little animosity, you would think, versus the Rams. That's what we're getting into this next segment. Just this team here, fellas. The culture, the grit, what Dan Campbell's built. I have different graphics and different videos of different guys talking about making a Super Bowl run with each other. I think it's amazing. So let's go to break. When we come back, we're going to get into all that. Mark White, though. Broder,
let's go.
Tell us about it. Let's go.
Let's go. This is Aiden Hutchinson finding some real estate in the Rams' backfield. Because if you're dreaming of a home but feeling the financial pinch, Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. I said $5,000. So you can get one ticket to the game this weekend. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
just in time for football. Glorious! Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off or check them out online at www.gloriouscanna.com.
We are back, Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys tuning in here. If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button for us. We're at 60 here. Let's get over 100 by the end of this segment. Everyone, if just hit it right now. No excuses. If you don't hit it, Dan Campbell's going to bite one of your kneecaps off.
Yeah, man.
He does that.
He does.
Rule number 76.
I promise you.
Champion.
He'll show up at your house. He's like the boogeyman under your bed.
A kneecap man.
Yep, kneecap man. He'll come out and he'll eat your kneecap if you don't hit that like button. All right, Broder, let's do this. I texted you, I said I want to do this segment about this culture again. I want to do one every single day leading up to this playoff game because what has been built is beautiful. The guys that Brad, I thought a car was coming up behind me there. I thought I was about to get killed.
It is. That's a Rivian behind you.
Yeah, I thought it was coming closer.
Let's
I was
go.
like, here we go, Booner.
You used to be a client.
R.I.P. Booner. I was nervous.
This is how it ends, huh?
I'm just looking at the camera and see the car hit me.
Rivians
That's
are
brutal.
nasty.
They're nice.
Inside, they're ridiculous.
Never seen the inside of one. Love that. But these guys, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, they have came together and they have brought in pieces that are meaningful pieces to this team. I want to start off with the biggest video of them all, and I think this is going to start off quick. If you watched other shows, you may have already seen it, but C.J. Gardner-Johnson, it's a short clip, but the main thing that he says in this, I think it's like, it speaks volumes, man. And especially with the stuff that was going on with him and, you know, what was going on earlier last week, this speaks volumes of who C.J. is and what this whole team is about. Remember, Broder, who's the most vocal guy leader on this football team, probably?
Oh, CD Deuce.
CD Deuce. And when you have the most vocal leader on your team saying stuff like this, your whole culture changes.
NSFW. Not suitable for work, but you're about to hear it.
It's not, yes. Here's CD Deuce.
Isn't this game one of the reasons why they brought you here? You know, they brought me to win the Super Bowl. They ain't bring me here to make no fucking playoffs.
When you came here,
Give it to me, Broder! I want to throw the helmet on right now. We're here to win Super Bowls. The Booner Path is about Super Bowls. It's not about playoff wins. It's not about regular season wins. It's not even about division wins. It's not about any of that. The path is about going in and winning a Super Bowl. Herman Moore hopped on it. Everyone's hopping on it. CD Deuce is talking about it. We're not here to win playoff games. Yes, we would love to get that for the city, and you're going to hear a couple other guys talk about that. But this Super Bowl, everything's about the Super Bowl going forward here in Detroit. When you have a team as you do, and you have an organization as you do now, it is about winning the Super Bowl. You're considered a contender in the NFL. You're not a wild card. You're playing in the wild card weekend. You're a division winner. You have 11 wins. Should be 12. Potentially could have been 13. You're one of the best teams in the NFL right now. We're talking Super Bowl. We're not talking, oh, it would be so nice if we could just get a playoff win, man, and then whatever happens, it's just so cool. No. We should all be talking about that end goal there, and it's this right here as well, this Lombardi Trophy. This is what it's all about. This is what it is. What CD Deuce there? You get that little face he gave to us? Like,
hey, bring me here to get to the playoffs.
All he's done in his career is win. He was just in the Super Bowl. He's not coming up short again. That man wants to win. And when he's your most vocal leader on this football team, that is contagious, man. That goes to the whole locker room. That goes to the coaching staff. That's a credit to all of them. They all are thinking that. They all want to win this week. It's one game at a time. I will admit that. Yes, it is one game at a time. That's how you go and win one. But they know what the end goal is. They're not stopping short either.
Yeah, what I love about the Booner Path is the destination is the Super Bowl. You're not looking past the Rams. You're not saying, let's focus on the we're going to beat the Rams, so we're going to focus on that. You're like, no, we got to be focused on the Super Bowl. But this week, to get there, you got to get past the Rams.
Yes.
I want to make that known. I know there's some stuff in the chat about just like be humble, talk about you got to win one. Yes, we got to win one game first, and that's all they're thinking about.
When you're building something up, you look at the end goal. You always do. I remember when I first got to Saginaw Valley my freshman year, first meeting I had there with the team. It was in the summer. We're doing like an international trip. The very first thing we all got handed. It wasn't one game at a time, 1 week at it. We knew, like, you know how, like, as an athlete and as a coach, like, you know how you get there. It's one game at a time. You have to stay humble to that and do that. But we all got a binder, and on the front of that binder, guess what it said? It was basically in D2. The Final Four is the Elite Eight. That's where all the teams go. When you win your region, it's the Elite Eight. And there, on the front of that, we wanted to win the region. We wanted to go to the NCAA tournament and win the region. That was the goal. The Detroit Lions, start of the year, obviously it was probably the NFC North. Now, Super Bowl. When you're coming to the playoffs, first day they showed up this week, they all should be, we're going to win a Lombardi trophy. That's our goal. And it's going to take us one game at a time. I think all of these guys have that mindset too. I've got a couple graphic some quote graphics here that I threw up. A Penei Sewell one. KG, you could just throw the Penei or the Jared Goff one up all you want, whatever one.
We'll do Penei first.
Let's do Penei. So you guys see the comment he had here. He said, "I want it all. Nothing less. Simple as that."
Wow. I love Penei Sewell.
That's the leader on the offense, man. That's the vocal leader on your offense. Is Penei Sewell, and he's out there talking about we're going for it all.
Just slide that into the NFLPA's DMs. Like, hey, you know this guy, Penei Sewell? Don't forget about him.
I still can't believe you missed it. What's up, KG?
Yeah, I got Goff.
Oh, and here's Goff. He said, and this one's more so of a playoff win, but he said, I so badly want to win a playoff game for this city that hasn't done one in so long. These guys, and that's the thing, too. It's like, yeah, they want to go win a Super Bowl. They want to do it for themselves, yes. You know who they want to do it for the most? All of you listeners. Us.
Lions fans.
The city of Detroit, man. And they feel it.
Lions fans.
It's true. And that quote in context is he's been getting slammed with questions about Stafford, about the Rams, about his relationship with McVay, and he really doesn't care. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he does. He got a chip on his shoulder, but he's not focused on that in terms of preparing for this game. He's focused on winning this for the city. He knows what's at stake. The side effect of doing that for the city is he gets to go home having beat Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford, having knocked them out of the playoffs.
Yep.
The guys that gave up on him. The guy that gave up on him and the other guy who gave up on the Detroit Lions. Yeah, he did.
He did.
He did.
Sean McVay did.
3 coaches, 3 different coaches, circles. He couldn't get it done. He said, I'm not ready to go through another rebuild. All right, we'll take Jared Goff and a bunch of new coaches too.
And it all worked out too, man. Like everything worked out. I just can't get over like all the stuff that happened with CJ GJ. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you good.
All right, cool. All the stuff that happened with CJ GJ the last couple of weeks, like the last week and stuff, the questioning and all of that. That video right there, man.
Yeah,
it speaks volumes to me. It really does, because I've been all year, like I said, when he came back a couple weeks ago and they started getting turnovers and he's the vocal guy, him back in the building being able to preach this to people, like think about Kirby Joseph, how much he's impacted having CJ back in the building.
How many interceptions has he had in the last, how many weeks since CJ's been back in the building?
How many interceptions and takeaways has he had since CJ's been in the building?
And these things too, Aaron Glenn gets credit for that too, for the Aaron Glenn haters out there. Like this is a developmental process. Like this is why they stuck with these guys through the trade deadline. Not saying they wouldn't be better at this very moment with Chase Young, but this is going to make the team better for the future. These are homegrown guys that Aaron Glenn has his hands on. And then continue to just get better and better. That's what Dan Campbell said before the season. The defensive line, we're developing these guys. We're not pumping a lot of money into them right yet. We're building them around Aiden, and they've played a lot better in the last couple weeks. A lot better.
Way better.
Yeah, and the run defense has been there all year. That's almost the most consistent part of this team. It might be.
I got a graphic here, or a tweet that I want to throw. I want to see if I can get it. It was really interesting. I just sent it in the Woodward Nights one, and KG just went over. It's interesting. It's the Lions. It was Mike Payton, and it was the Lions each month, points per game, like yards, points given up. Like it was for the whole defense, and it's interesting to see the month by month what happened. And there's an outlier there. There's a big outlier. When you lost a lot of games over in November, I believe it was November. That was the biggest one. Yeah, when you dropped a few games. You lost 3 games in November?
No, they were only played 3 games.
I think, did you lose 2 of them? I think one was a Ravens game.
Yeah, and one was Thanksgiving against the Packers,
Yeah.
and the other one was a win against the Bears.
So you guys can see this right here, Lions defense by month. And you could see the improvement and in kind of the start of the September, 20 points per game, 280 yards. October, 20 as well, 313 yards, which 20 is low for the NFL.
November, though.
And then November,
Yeah.
31 points per game, over 377 yards per game. You only had 2 turnovers in the whole month and only 2 sacks.
Jesus.
And then you see in December, which December was basically that you know this recent one here. I think January is only 1 game.
Forget how dominant they were in September.
Yes.
Holy smokes.
Dogs.
Talk about, and that's including the Seahawks putting up 37 on them.
But the thing that really does stand out to me the most, if I'm being honest, like September was huge, as well as look at December. 9 turnovers and 14 sacks in December. And then right after that, in January, I think that's 1 game, you have 2 turnovers and 4 sacks. Like, if you could just combine December and January, that's an insane run. Yeah. That's basically 1 month with 11 turnovers and 18 sacks in 1 month. So this defense has turned things around, and CJ's back in the building. Guys are back in the building. The culture's changed and kind of getting back to where we were in September. Because guess who was in the building in September, Broder? Who? CJ Gardner-Johnson, your leader on defense. I keep going back to that. It's weird. It's a weird thing. It's like when you have like your one main vocal leader, it's like, hey, man, things change a little bit.
And in December they were, I guess they were only 3-2, but the Cowboys were one of the games. Hey, that defense has gotten better.
That's what we're talking about when we come back.
Takeaways, baby.
We're talking about defense. Let me tell you about another defense, though. Guardian Alarm. They have customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians, they take the time to recommend security and automation solutions that are specific to your needs. They have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can give them a call anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian Alarm team member, they will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people, where your safety and security deserves technology that has been proven to work and people have been proven to care. That number right there, if you want a great defense, that is 1-800.
Stay out.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Just visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order them online at fairwaypacking.com.
All right, we are back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. How many likes are we at right now?
Let me look. We are at 76.
82.
Oh, 82.
82.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's hit the like button. Let's get over 100 here before the end of this segment.
82 for James Mitchell.
Shout out James Mitchell.
Shout out. Thanks for teaching me.
We're going to keep getting this. We're going to get this defense thing. We're going to continue this conversation here because I think that's the biggest part in making a playoff run.
You love the D.
What?
Big pause.
Defense.
Okay, man. That was just wild. First of all, you had that double thing to start the show, and now that you're starting to
the
freak
Rams
me
are
out.
coming.
Hey, I'm not judging. Just like to shoot straight.
Hey, KG, I want to do this real quick. Can you throw a poll up?
Yeah.
I just want to do a poll. Do you trust the Detroit Lions secondary? And just yes or no.
Oh, yeah, you know the answer to that one.
I would love to. I want to see kind of where people. I want to see how many people say yes. To be honest, because that's I think the biggest question, Broder, going into this game and this playoffs is. Everyone in the chat right now just saying big pause. So David Witt said pause like
that's my guy, David.
Cat pause.
Oh, pause like a cat. You said cat?
Like a cat.
A lion's a big
or
cat.
Or a dog. Or a lion. Oh, yeah. I've always wanted a pet lion. When people ask you, like, hey, what's like a pet that you've always wanted, like an exotic one, I've always go lion.
Have you ever seen Little Dicky's rap about the Lion King?
Oh, yes, I think I have.
He tells the story through his rap. It's epic.
To be honest, nope, I didn't. When you said Little Dicky, I right away I went to David Spade playing that one movie where he's like
Joe Dirt?
No, it's like a movie where he's like called like Little Dicky or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We're getting really distracted.
Dickie Roberts.
Dickie Roberts, that's what it was. I don't know why when you said Little Dicky, I thought of David Spade and that. But,
Brick wall, waterfall.
That was just really wild for me to think that. Let's get to this. The defense, though. I'm going to start with you, Broder.
Lions fan.
I want to see your kind of where you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10, like your confidence level with the secondary here. We keep doing that every day when we're talking about some of these things. I like the scale, the 1 to 10, because I get a good feel. The corners, though, I think that's the biggest issue is this corner room. And I know you have some stuff for Cam Sutton to kind of talk about, but
not much.
That's what worries me is his corners. I think the safeties, I think they're some of the best in the league, to be honest.
That's going to bring the scale up for me. If we're combining them all, I put them at like a 7.5. Like, they are the weakness, but the defensive line has been playing so much better. And despite CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson going off, it hasn't affected. I guess it did in Dallas, but it sort of hasn't affected the outcome of the game because that defensive line has shut down the running game, made them one-dimensional, and was able to pick off Nick Mullins. Dak, actually, they didn't get a pick on Dak. But although Stafford hasn't turned the ball over a ton this year, he's got 11 interceptions, he is historically that type of quarterback where he can take chances. He's aggressive. He takes chances. So if the defensive line gets pressure, I have confidence that those corners can stay with them enough. And then if he starts throwing the ball deep, if he starts taking chances, which kind of like the Lions with Cooper Kupp, there aren't as many. Like he's been a lot smarter taking care of the ball because he's got these outlets, but he's been known to throw some picks. So it's going to need to be a big game out of those safeties.
Yeah, and you know what it is to me too? It's, you know how like we've given up. KJ asked a question the other day where it was like, are you comfortable with giving up all those yards to the receivers? This is where I'm at with it. It's if your corners aren't like as elite as some around the league. Like Cam Sutton's a great corner, I think. I don't think he's bad at all. I just think it's. Maybe he's not like the 1A Pro Bowler All-Pro that he has been in his career.
He's a great number 2.
But he's a great number 2, and and he wasn't expected to be like the number 1 guy going into this year. Mosley
to be the number 2.
Yeah, so
like that's an epic 1-2 punch with Mosley and Cam Sutton.
Yeah, so in my head, I think the second or the safety room right now, what they have with Brian Branch, I mean even Tracy when he gets in, kind of coming off the bench a little bit, C.J. Garner-Johnson, Kirby, Iffy. That's an elite safety room to where. You're going to be able to. That's the bend don't break kind of thing. The corners are going to get beat throughout the whole field. When it's open field, these corners are going to get beat. The secondary, like those safeties, are going to be over top to help. Once you get into the red zone, that's when things start to get a little bit more enclosed, and you're getting those like you're seeing you get those stops. I think that's because you have elite safeties on the back end, and they like. Teams don't have that much room. Like CeeDee Lamb didn't have that much room to work with. Justin Jefferson inside the 20 doesn't have a lot of room to work with, and those safeties are able to kind of come in a little bit more. So I think what's going to happen through the playoffs is I just think you're going to get beat by receivers. Puka's going to go out and get 100. And or maybe he gets under 100 and Cooper gets over 100. Like you're going to get,
but they're going to get some. They're not going to. They're not going to have 40 yards. Like they'll each put up at least 75.
But at the end of the day, you're going to give up yards because your corners aren't as elite as some others in the playoffs. But what's going to happen is you're not going to give up more than 20 points per game at the end of the day. You're going to force field goals. You're going to force turnovers. That safety room, the safety room is going to save this Lions team a lot. They're going to get a lot of turnovers in the playoffs and on Sunday, and it's going to help those corners. Like they're going to get beat, but the safeties are going to be the ones that help out. Another thing too, and when we get into the Lions-Rams kind of breakdown here, I think it's going to come down as well to this defensive line, fellas.
Yeah.
Like, what do they do in the playoffs? Because if you don't have good corners that can't cover and can't stay with their guys one-on-one, what helps them out? Get pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
Make him make mistakes.
Yeah, it's huge. And especially the safeties, this is an especially important game for them because it's Stafford, a Mullins-like quarterback, a pocket passer who can chuck it. Part of the value in Cam Sutton, which is why I know people have thrown around the word he stinks, and he hasn't had an amazing season by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not only important in the locker room, but throughout the season, our schedule's been full of mobile quarterbacks, like from top to bottom. Almost every quarterback except Nick Mullins has been mobile, which means your cornerbacks have to tackle. Cam Sutton has been an extremely good tackler at the line of scrimmage when he's needed to, whether it's tackling wide receivers or screen pass, whatever it is. He's been able to shut down a lot of plays that could be longer. So specifically for our schedule, he's been a lot more valuable than maybe his coverage stats look like.
Real quick, I don't want to interrupt you. Check your email real quick. I think you may have gotten a Lions report. There's some reports. I'm going to wait real quick so Broder can break this. I want to confirm you got an email so it's true. Real quick, and I'll come to you, Nick. Aaron Glenn mentioned that today, actually, in the press conference, is tackling in the playoffs. That's been an issue, like kind of an issue is the last couple of weeks. You have seen guys miss tackles, especially versus Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and Kyron Williams. You have to make tackles. And he literally said the teams that make Super Bowl runs, those are the teams that make that tackle. Like, and it's as weird as it sounds, or as dumb as it sounds, like, oh, that's just, yeah, well, that's obvious. No, like, you cannot miss tackles versus these guys, because that's what these elite players are so good at, and that's how they win games, is breaking tackles and making big plays out of it. And that's how the Rams have been so successful all year, is those three guys going out there making plays, like making a guy miss, big play, making a guy miss, big play. The Stafford heat chart, I think the morning show showed it. It's literally just short passes, and then they just make a guy miss, big play. So if you make tackles Sunday. That's what it is. Nick?
Yeah, I like that a lot. And Broder was speaking of mobile quarterbacks. Did you get an email, Broder?
No, you can keep going.
All right, so big key to me in this game, why the Lions are going to win this game against the Rams. You think about our losses this season, they've all been against mostly mobile quarterbacks besides maybe Dak Prescott, but we all know that we won that game. You think about Justin Fields, super mobile quarterback, maybe the highest in the league, behind a guy in Lamar Jackson, super mobile. We've had trouble with that all year. Jordan Love, another extremely mobile quarterback, and you end with Geno Smith that knows how to get out of the pocket and pick up big first downs. The key is getting to Stafford in this game, our defensive line showing up. He is not the most mobile quarterback. I think our defense is going to be just fine keeping Matthew Stafford in check and being a key reason why the Detroit Lions get the dub.
Love that, Nick.
Yeah, I like that, Nick.
And I don't have anything official, but Booner, go ahead and report, because this is a trustworthy source.
So it says per Dave Burkett. I don't see any tweets or anything, but a lot of people are putting it out right now. Jerry Jacobs officially or unofficially from Dave Burkett. I don't want to say officially because it's
just from per Dave
Jerry
Burkett.
Jacobs has been put on the IR, so it is. It's not that he didn't get waived or anything. He's got put on IR. It's an injury situation, so he's going to be out for the playoffs, because the Booner path, 4 games to win the Super Bowl. He's out for the next 4 games at least on the IR. So he'll be with the team though. Like he'll be able to kind of enjoy the run still and kind of be a part of it. Just he's gonna the injury, and I think his contract might be up as well. Maybe that was why he thanked Detroit, just in case. Maybe this is the last go around for that. I think that's more so just a depth hit.
Oh yeah, and create a roster spot for somebody who needs one.
Because if someone goes down, it's like now you have to. Will Harris is the guy, and we all know how we feel about Will Harris a bit. Instead of Jerry, I'd rather go Jerry personally.
Kindle Vildor and Cam and
if Kindle,
Brian Branch, CD Deuce would probably get in there. But I know
that
what
would be
saying.
Interesting to see some of those guys at corner.
Maybe this is total speculation. I'm just throwing this idea out. Maybe Stephon Gilmore. Maybe he gets activated. I don't know that.
Do you know something?
That is total speculation.
Do
not spread rumors.
Does Broder know something? Everyone drop a yes or no.
But cornerback, someone's got to come up.
Give him a shot.
Starling Thomas, the
I'm guessing
he's on the Cardinals.
Who's going to get called up this week with this Jerry Jacobs IR? James Houston officially. That just made room for James Houston without them having to waive anyone. Nick?
Yeah, I like that too, but I would take a guy like Gilmore, maybe getting called up and getting a spot in there. And I talked about the 5 games that the Lions have lost this year. They've given up 304 passing yards per game in those games. That's us not getting pressure to that quarterback, and that's putting these corners on an island like you just hit on. These DNs need to get home against Stafford.
100%. And that's what we're 9 o'clock here. We're going in. Let's hit break early a little bit. And we're going to get into that, Nick. We're going to get into this Los Angeles Rams, Detroit Lions initial matchup. I have a couple things on that, little tease ahead there. But
I like butts.
Let me tell you about Planet Fitness, a great place to go work out. You guys want to go check it out, make sure you do. It is Planet Fitness. It is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. Over at Planet Fitness, you'll experience squeaky clean gyms. Very squeaky clean. Nick cleans them himself. They have tons of equipment, full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. Get all that for just $10 a month, no commitment at all. No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness close by. They have 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands throughout the world. That is Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new Down Home Comfort Dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The Down Home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of Down Home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. They got the same great prices, all the convenience of the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They're family owned and locally operated for over 30 plus years. They got 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. They offer same day, local, curbside, home delivery. It's wild. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best right meow. Go to www.premierpetsupply.com.
Hey, man. Broder. Hey, shout out, Broder. That was a great one. Welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. My name Booner, not Broder. Broder over there. Detroit Lions beat reporter. We got KG and Nick in the booths, man. Full show. Real quick, too, Nick. Hit it. Detroit Red Wings goal. Let's go.
Andrew Kopp, 1-0 Red Wings. Let's go, boys. I know we're talking football, but that is a massive goal for the Red Wings. Massive.
Need a win, man. Need to win some
We're
games.
an all Detroit sports show. We can talk about the Red Wings.
Yeah, shout out. Shout out. They're fighting for a playoff spot that Nick convinced me to put a lot of money on at the beginning of the season.
Let's go.
Responsibly.
Hey, this is the start of a very tough stretch for the Red Wings. So to pick up a win against Edmonton and
is it Connor McDavid?
Yeah, Connor McDavid, Draisaitl. To pick up a win tonight would be massive to start off this stretch.
Tell me about it, Nick. Let's go, baby. All right, let's get into this. Detroit Lions. And real quick, hit the like button for us if you haven't already. Are we over 100 yet, fellas?
We're at 99.
99. Let's get to 125 by the end of this segment. We're getting into the game, though. First initial matchup. Tomorrow, we're going to kind of really dive in. That's going to be like our pregame show. I have Fridays. Jeff Friday. Hollywood's going to be coming in for about 30 minutes to kind of break down the game as well with us. But today, one segment on this, Broder. We're getting into it. Matchups are really the biggest key matchup in mine. I'll start off with mine here. The biggest key matchup of this game. I think it's kind of what Nick said. I think it's the defensive line, the Lions' defensive line versus Matthew Stafford and that O-line. I think this is just I was trying to get rankings on this O-line for the last 2 hours, and I couldn't log into my PFF to get the rankings, so I could not get it.
Let me look it up for you.
But at the end of the day, I don't care what they're ranked. They could be ranked number 1. They could be ranked 30th. At the end of the day, these guys need to get home. They need to put pressure on Matthew Stafford. You know how important it is to get turnovers in playoff games to win the game. What starts the turnovers? What forces quarterbacks to throw interceptions? Pressure, pressure, pressure. And on top of that, if you can get home and sack him 4, 5, 6 times on Sunday, game is over. If you end up with 5 sacks and an interception, game is over. That is done. Those 5 sacks, man, like that ends the game. That puts them back 5 like that's a possession killer, especially with the defense that you have. And then if you get a takeaway and get a couple extra possessions, I think this Aiden Hutchinson, I think Hutch is going to be one of the biggest keys of this game. And then on the other side of the ball, the commish is going to have to get home. Like these guys are going to have to get home.
Commish going to be fresh.
He's going to be. He sat out last week, and it was so he gets fresh when he comes back. James Houston, he's going to be back potentially. He needs to get I get it. He's coming off an injury. Listen, we're in the playoffs, fellas. This is it. There's no going back. Hey, we got next. Nope, this is the playoffs. Get home. I think Hutch has a big game, and I think he needs to. If the Lions want to win this football game and go dominate, Hutch needs to come out with a sack or two, and he needs to force a turnover.
I like that. Through Week 18, the Rams are ranked 7th in the NFL in QB sack rate at 5.5%. The Lions are 3rd at 4.9%. So they're pretty close there.
Decent offensive line, fellas.
Rams are tied for 6th in QB sacks with 34. Lions have 31, tied for 4th. And they got some players. Kevin Dotson, Rob Havenstein, Coleman Shelton has actually done decent run blocking. So they have some players. They know they need to protect Stafford to win this game, even more than they need to establish Kyren Williams in the running game. Because Stafford, as much as we don't want to make him the story, is actually the key to this game.
With that point, too, as well, it's like we're talking about the corners, like Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp are going to get theirs. Like at the end of the day, no matter what corner's on them or whoever it is, like in the NFL, those are just 2 elite dudes in the NFL who are going to get theirs no matter what. The only way to take away from that is getting to the quarterback and pushing them back, making them have to make bigger plays, getting to the quarterback to force turnovers, force fumble, get to Matthew Stafford, make him think twice about what he's doing. And that's the way you affect kind of and help those corners out, is getting to the quarterback, and everything else takes care of itself. It puts your safeties into position, it puts your linebackers in the spot to be able to cover. And even if you want to send blitzes, AG, scheme something up. I'm sure he'll have something schemed up. Phipps said it actually today. He said the one cool thing about the playoffs is like you're not like you don't hold anything back each week. Like typically you're like, let's not put this out there so people don't see it later in the year. Like everything's out there now.
That's a great point.
You do everything. So AG, you better have the best scheme you've had all year.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say. Is you better have the top blitzes you have, the packages, everything. You should be ready to go.
Send it.
Yeah. What is your biggest matchup, though, bro?
My biggest match, I'm going to the defensive line, but on that same note, Ben Johnson, too, he's talked about having these packages for each player. Like, he's been saving up some offensive plays, too. I think we're going to see some new creativity out of Ben Johnson. But you went defensive line. Can't disagree with you. I'm going to go that secondary that we talked about because of the defense. I think they're going to shut down or at least neutralize Kyren Williams in that running game, which has been a strong. When he's healthy, he's been great for the Rams. But it's going to come down to how that secondary, cornerbacks and safeties, deal with Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Demarcus Robinson. Is Tutu Atwell healthy, or is he out?
I think he's out still.
Okay,
don't quote me on that.
He might have been out for the year, but still,
he had a good start.
That's a pretty good. Might that sound like a great wide receiver core? But when you think about Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp leading the way, it's hard. It's arguably one of the best 1-2 punches in the NFL when Cooper Kupp's healthy. Puka Nacua broke all types of rookie records. He's a stud. So going to be a lot riding on Brian Branch in the slot, whether that's Cooper or Puka.
By the way, fellas.
Tutu Atwell is active.
He hasn't really done much since the beginning of the year, but he is active.
Interesting. Okay. But he's got some talent. He's got some skill. I think the first game of the year, he and Puka Nacua both had 100 yards. It was like the first time maybe in Rams history or something to have had 100 yards in a game. But nonetheless, they got some talent, and we know Stafford can sling it. So if we let them get behind the defense, get behind that third line, it could be a long day. Or if we don't make our tackles, if Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, if we start breaking tackles, Tyler Higbee, I forgot to mention him. He's a pretty reliable tight end. Maybe not at the top of the league, but right there in the middle. You got to make your tackles once they catch it. Yards after catch cannot happen in this game.
It's still a great offense at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And you have to find a way to stop it, and I think AG is going to have the plan. Like, it held Dallas to 20 points at home, and that was where they were averaging 40 points per game. So he's been able to find ways to kind of hold teams bend but don't break, and do that. And I know, like, remember, KT, you said yesterday, like, is that kind of like, are you going to be able to do that forever? I think that's the only way this defense is going to be able to do it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
I don't blame you.
Do you guys have any key matchups? Nick, I know you said real quick, actually, we do have 7 more minutes on this segment. I want to make sure you have enough time to get your game prediction. If you guys didn't know, Nick is out tomorrow on one of the biggest days of the year for the Detroit Lions. I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
I was messing with you off air on that. But no, seriously, I want you to be able to get your score prediction out there. Key matchups that you have. What are your thoughts on this game, Nick?
Yeah, first thought, it goes to our offensive line versus that bad man in the middle that we have passed on for Eric Ebron all those years ago. And that man's name is Aaron Donald. I believe it is Frank Ragnow versus Aaron Donald is going to control this game. The Lions need to be able to run the ball, control the clock, and set up Jared Goff for his play action deep balls to Jameson Williams that I think is going to be a massive key part in this game. I think Aaron Donald, stopping him, you stop this defense, really. So I think that's the biggest key matchup to me is Frank Ragnow specifically versus Aaron Donald.
I love that, Nick, not because of the obvious, because it's Aaron Donald part, but because when pressure comes up the middle, especially on Jared Goff, that's when he struggles the most. I worry less about him, although it still affects how he plays. I worry less about the rushers from the outside because he's proven he can step up in the pocket. But when that collapses in front of him, he's got nowhere to go. He can't really escape.
And they do have the Kobe Turner as well, who has 9 sacks on the year, and he's a defensive tackle. It's like him and Aaron Donald there. I think he has 9 sacks, and I think Aaron might have 7 or 8 on the season. So those two guys, like right there, combined for over 16 sacks on the year, and they've just dominated
in the
inside.
interior.
Yeah, and which is insane itself. To have 2 guys on the interior who can do that it's nuts. So yeah, I like that, Nick. Frank Ragnow, that's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough matchup. All like Frank, whoever he has,
best center versus Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Sorry,
I was just going to say all pro on all pro right there. That is a big boy matchup. And I mean, that's what it comes down to when you want to get to the Super Bowl following this Booner path that we're all on. Your best players need to limit the other team's best players. And that's why this is such a key matchup for the Detroit Lions. Another guy that you kind of hit on was Higbee. He's pretty low-key. So Anzalone guarding him is going to be a big deal for this defense because we have struggled with tight ends in the past. We do not want to see him escape for just one of those 40-yarders. He just slips by. Cannot have that happen.
Yeah, it's funny when Cam Sutton has played his top 7 games overall. It has been graded as top. The Lions are 6-1, and that one loss was Seattle, in which the tight ends killed them. I forget, they had over 100 yards, maybe 125. So that's a great one. Eliminating Higbee, don't let a guy like Tyler Higbee. He's not great, but he's not bad.
That's what hurts you is when like these secondary guys go off and.
That's the thing. It's the Vikings,
the
Vikings and the Cowboys. They didn't have Brandon Cooks did some for the Cowboys, but they really didn't have that reliable second option to supplement or to support the 220 yards that CD had and everything Justin Jefferson did. So great call.
Great, yeah. Shout out Nick. Those two things, Nick. Before we end this segment, we're going to keep rolling here for a couple more minutes. I want to get your score prediction so that the people can hear what you have here. One more thing too as well, and I want to get yours, Broder. But on the offensive side of the ball for the Lions, we haven't talked much about them yet. Want to get both of ours kind of player who we think needs to step up and will step up. I'm going to go with, I have this written down here, with the potential Laporta injury or not playing, not knowing what he can do and what he's available to do. I think a big game, and I said it yesterday, and I think he needs to have a big game for the Lions to be successful, is Jameson Williams. I think Waymo. I think this is a game for him. I'm gonna keep going back to that. Even when we do the show tomorrow, I'm gonna keep bringing Jameson Williams up. We have seen his potential. We've seen what he can do. This is where now you showcase and you go out there and do it. This is the bright lights. He did it at Alabama for a year. We know kind of his potential. He's got that Devontae Smith kind of potential, and then he's got that Tyreek Hill speed. And it's dangerous, man. And I think, as you said, Ben Johnson has stuff he hasn't used yet during the season, and he's going to use for the next 4 weeks on this little run here. And I think part of that is he hasn't showcased everything he has for Jameson Williams yet. I think he has some things in his bag with JMO that are going to be big plays, big breakout plays. And I think this is a game like where you see JMO go off maybe 2 or 3 catches for 100 yards, or maybe not 100 receiving yards, but maybe 100 all-purpose, because I think they're going to have some end arounds for him, and he's going to get in the end zone on Sunday. I think JMO is huge X factor on this offense, especially if Laporta does play. He's not going to be 100%. That's a huge X factor.
Connor McDavid just dangled. I mean, that was one of the best goals I've ever seen. I was about to go Jameson Williams.
Really?
I was, but I'm going to go with the not boring, but the easy answer. But I think it is most important that Amon-Ra St. Brown is Amon-Ra St. Brown on Sunday. I think he's not due. He has the potential for a massive game. Their secondary is not so great, and he shows up in the biggest moments. Like whether Sam Laporta plays or doesn't, this is Amon-Ra St. Brown on a national stage playoffs against a player that he was snubbed for the Pro Bowl, against the Rams, who he was seen. We saw the video, him talking about how important this is to support Jared Goff. He's a guy who he talks and he backs himself up.
I hope he
think
has a crazy game.
Yeah, like it could be a 10-12 catcher for 150.
I almost, and I was thinking this last night. I've already started thinking about the legacy play for the playoffs because it's good. It's like this is big in the playoffs. Legacy play is big for me. I went 12-3 in the season every week. I wanted to go Amon-Ra St. Brown. I might get some blue hair too.
Booner, you should.
I might not go full out dye, but like I
Just
might.
the tits?
You know how you can get the spray, the blue spray. I might for the stream on Sunday. I might get the mullet cut Saturday or Sunday.
You should.
And I might get the mullet all finished up, get it trimmed up. I might get the blue hairspray.
Now that you're talking about it, I think you got to.
Yeah.
It would look good.
Imagine a playoff win, blue hairspray.
Blue Kool-Aid.
I'm going to say the blue Kool-Aid. You know what comes out on
Blue
big
balls.
games?
What?
The bubbly.
The Stone Cold.
Oh.
Imagine the Stone Cold. Amon-Ra already posted it once. If I have the blue hair with it.
With the Blue Mountains?
With the Blue Mountains. Might be up to
Coors
something.
Light. That's
man.
Dan Campbell's favorite beer, too.
It is. I did Miller Lite last time, so maybe I'll have to do
You got to go
Coors.
Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout
drink
out
some
Amon-Ra.
Hypnotic.
Hey, you gonna hit another cigar again?
Cigar. Hey, cigar. I'm not going to do that.
Weed.
The cigar and the champagne, that's for the Super Bowl.
I got you.
It's championships only. That was the only time I've ever popped a bottle like that and had a. I have cigars, but I've had champagne on New Year's and stuff. But that was the only time I've ever did that whole thing. Only on big championships like NFC North. It was good to have a drink because it was the first championship since the '90s. Playoff wins. Like I said, I'm the leader of the Booter path here. I have to lead from the front. I can't for playoff wins. I can't have champagne. That's Super Bowl. If I'm preaching to the people that the Booner path, the end goal is to win the Super Bowl, that's the end goal.
That's it.
What were we going to say?
No, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I was going to say, David Montgomery is an underrated key player in this because of what Nick said, with pressure coming up the middle, having him right there next to Jared Goff,
some blocks,
making sure that Jared Goff stays clean on that Detroit Ford Field turf.
Now I'm thinking about this blue hair. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I should do it. This hairspray. I don't know if it'll come out by Tuesday.
I think you should.
I don't think it has to.
I'll think about it.
Come on.
You have a job, fellas. Nick, real quick, before we go to break, score prediction. What is your score prediction here? You're going to be at the game, actually. What is the score prediction you have while you're there?
We'll be at the game. You know what? Let me do a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
You can give me this.
And a little bit of that. Let's go. You know I'm going with the Lions. I will be at the game. I'm going 31-27. Your Detroit Lions get the first home playoff win in 30 years at Ford Field. First playoff game ever at Ford Field. This is going to be the most electric crowd football has ever seen. Ford Field is ready. Matt Stafford is not. We will be coming for the Rams super hard on Sunday night.
Pause.
These fans are going to be going absolutely crazy. I cannot wait for it. This is going to be the most electric environment football has ever seen. The NFL is not ready for it. Give me the Lions. 31-27.
Oh
Let's go, boys. Let's
I will
go.
say that's a close game, man. I might have a heart attack if it's 31-27. It's that close.
If that's a score, it better include victory formation, which means the Lions have the ball at the end of the game. Because
the national championship, dude, I was stressed out. This game, I'm going to be right there with that.
And if there's one thing Stafford proved he could do in Detroit,
it's
come back in the fourth quarter.
Hey, if you guys need a spot to watch the game, if you're not going to the game, make sure you guys check out Hamlin Pub. It is the best pub and bar in the state of Michigan, and they have the best wings in Michigan as well. Make sure you guys check it out. They have 7 locations, and you can experience a place where everyone is a regular. They have half-off pizza on Thursdays and game day specials, which you'll be able to get if you go during the Lions game, during all Michigan sports and NFL games. Hamlin Pub, it is the place to be. Visit the location today and experience your new favorite pub.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Do you have football on the brain? This is football. This is football time of year. College is over. Michigan won the national championship. Now it's Lions in the playoff. This time is also the time of year where you got to get your home and auto insurance, and that means shopping like a pro at Swiss Insurance. You got to ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call him at 248-800-4177.
All right, we are back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. If you're watching on woodwardsports.com, appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure on the YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. We're at about 113. Let's get this up to 150 here by the end of this next segment. Everyone right now, stop what you're doing and hit that like button for us. This is the segment we're doing here. I talked about it at the beginning of the show and teased on the heavyweights. But we're going to do, since it's kind of our last show here before our pregame for the playoffs, it's kind of like the last regular season show. So Broder and I are going to go over our kind of season awards for the Detroit Lions. Fellas in the booth, we'll let you guys kind of react to them as we get through them here and kind of want to get your reactions. But we have the MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, the Detroit Lions Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, the best glue guy that was on the team this year,
Elmer's
Special Teamer of the Year, Moment of the Year, Most Improved Player. These are a lot of awards.
Yes, right.
Most Improved. And the final one is just Favorite Player of the Season. And everyone in here, we'll let everyone give kind of their pick on that one, their favorite player to watch this year on the Detroit Lions. A lot of them, but for the next two segments, we'll be doing that at 9:40. To tease ahead for 9:40, I have a segment here to where I have an MVP player on this Detroit Lions team, and I'm not talking about just MVP that I'm going to give out now. I'm talking about NFL MVP that people might be shocked about, and it's not Jared Goff.
Drama.
It is a player on the Detroit Lions that should be and could be and was in certain voting in the MVP race. And it's not Jared Goff.
Oh,
very, very. That's gonna
touch me, tease me, kiss
that's
me,
gonna
please
be at
me,
9:40.
Booner.
I would like you guys could throw guesses in there if you want. I'm not going to say who was right, who was wrong, but I have someone here very interesting. Let's start off though.
By the way, I would love for a player like that to be in the running moving forward.
It would be awesome.
You know?
I think I looked it up. I think there has been a player like that's won.
Really?
I think. I could be wrong.
Back
when we
in the
do
30s?
it at 9:40, we'll get more facts on it. I'll do it on some of the breaks. I'll look it up. Very interesting, though. Detroit Lions season end of awards.
Yes.
So let's start with MVP. I think we might have the same one for MVP, and I'm going to let you take this one. I think we have the same one.
It's your quarterback, Jared Goff. That's my MVP. This is a top two offense, a top five in all major categories. This offense has been fantastic all season. The consistency that they've produced just for the last, what would it be, 28 games has been so impressive. And the man at the front, the man under center, Jared Goff, he's my Detroit Lions MVP for 2023.
Yeah, I had him as well. I wanted to go a couple different guys, but 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I was too. I remember I made a prediction earlier this year that he was going to have 30 touchdowns and 10 or less interceptions. 2 interceptions off.
Yeah.
Right there.
Right there.
So close. But he's been elite, not even just on the field, but leadership-wise. A lot of people have been talking about it going into this week, how he's improved being a leader, and kind of he's changed from where he was in L.A. to where he was just a player in L.A., and he was just kind of like a guy that was just like, hey, he's a part of this team. Now here in Detroit, he's been that vocal leader. He's been the main piece here on this Lions team that's helped them win, and he's put the numbers up that go with it as well.
Hell yeah.
Second in the league in passing yards, and I think fourth or fifth in touchdowns. That's an unbelievable year from him.
Yeah, Jordan Love snuck up in front of him in touchdown passes these last couple weeks. So, yeah, impressive.
Offensive player of the year. And everyone right now, drop who you think your offensive player of the year is. As we go through these, I want to see everyone. We'll name some out in the chat. I'll go first with this one and let me know if it's the same as you. It has to be this guy, though. It has to be the all-pro wide receiver. First team all-pro, in my opinion. Maybe if there's 3 first-team all-pros, he's the third one.
Congratulations. You just got Amon-Ra St. Clown.
Over 1,500 yards, 10 touchdowns, 119 catches. He is basically top 5 in every wide receiver category. And on top of that, he's basically top 3 in all 3 of these main ones. He has been elite. He leads the league in yards after catch. Like, he has been one of the most elite players in the NFL. Maybe that's the guy for MVP I'm talking about, too.
Yeah, I was about to say arguably.
Because he has put numbers up. And I know CD's gone nuts, Tyreek's gone nuts, but he is right up there putting some numbers up, and he missed a full football game.
And you're talking about MVP of this team. Amon-Ra St. Brown's right there with Goff. They're
right there. You could have gone either way. That's why I was like, I'm going to go Goff MVP, and I'll go him Offensive Player of the Year, and I'll give him the credit that way.
We're thinking the same, Boone.
Is that who you have?
That's who I got. And it looks like the popular choice in the chat. I see a lot of Amon-Rans. Andrew Jones to Sam Laporta, which is an awesome case for Laporta. He's just so important to that offense. A lot of St. Brown's. Tom Kennedy? Question mark?
TK85.
Hey, TK85. Has he got a catch yet?
No, he hasn't.
Oh, man.
That practice player, babies.
You got to catch in practice.
Yeah! I got Amon-Ra St. Brown.
KG.
I think Penei Sewell can be
what?
Broder, man.
Chappelle Show.
We love you, man. I think Penei Sewell can be in the running for that award as well. He's been the anchor on that offensive line all year long. We got to give the O-linemen some love. If you want to give it to all of them, you really could. But Penei has definitely been the leader of that O-line.
I wouldn't give it to Halapulavati Vaitai.
Oh, well, yeah.
James Mitchell. No, I'm just kidding. Defensive Player of the Year, though. Do you want me to hit mine first?
Yeah, hit it.
And I think we have 2 different ones. We talked about it before the show. I have Aiden Hutchinson.
Quit it.
I think there's there's 2 or 3 guys that you can go with this one. Aiden Hutchinson, to me, the last couple of weeks has kind of solidified him to me as the MVP on this defense. 11.5 sacks, 14 tackles for a loss, 7 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles, an interception, and on top of that, he's top 5 in pressures, quarterback hits, all of that within the whole NFL. He's kind of turned into, the last few weeks, he's turned into that elite pass rusher that we've been wanting him to get to. That second tier under the Myles Garretts and Max Crosby's and TJ Watts.
He's coming.
And he's on his way up. Like, those guys are all in their 4th, 5th year. He's only in year 2, and he's kind of working his way up to that. So I'm excited to see what he keeps doing, but I think he's been the best defensive player for the Lions.
Arm sleeve Hutch.
Arm sleeve Hutch.
Hard to argue with that.
Hard to argue.
I'm going to go with Alex Anzalone. I'm going to go with the blonde hair in the middle. He's had an incredible year. He's been one of the top, if not like a top 3 linebacker in coverage. Yep. He's been the leader of that young linebacker group that has continued to get better throughout the season. Like, I give credit to some of Campbell's development, some of Derek Barnes' development. I factor that into my decision here too. But really, when you've needed a big tackle, a big stop, Alex Anzalone's been there, and his stats, I don't have him up, but his stats rank up there with some of the best linebackers in the league. Maybe not total tackles wise, although he does have one more tackle than Fred Warner. Who's, I believe, is the best linebacker in the league, right there with Roquan Smith.
Yep.
Alex Anzalone is as important to this defense as anybody.
Yeah, I see a lot of people here, too. A lot of Hutch.
Yeah.
I did see someone say Jack Campbell second to Hutch.
Interesting.
That's God Hates Cowards there. He said, I use the run defense and short passing game numbers improvement. I think the improvement is there for sure.
Improvement's definitely there.
Yeah, it's just Anzo is just, he's been one of the best in the league at his position, and that's proven as well. So
hell yeah.
I'm going to go with that. Rookie of the Year. I think we both have 2 separate guys as well. I think this can go either way, to be honest.
It really can.
Go both ways.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go opposite of you here, just for the people, so we can give some credit to both guys.
You're a man of the people.
I'm gonna go Jahmyr Gibbs. I would have loved to go the other guy that I'm sure all you guys are thinking about because he'll probably be an all-pro. Jameer Gibbs won't. But over 1,200 yards as a rookie is elite. 11 total touchdowns. He has been one of the best, in my opinion, as we've gotten to the end of the year, that end stretch, or that little stretch of football that he had, since I think it was like week 8 on. He was one of the best in the league at his position. Mm-hmm. He was one of the best running backs in the NFL doing what he was doing. He was explosive. He was getting over 100 yards all-purpose every single game. He was getting multiple touchdowns. He was dominating, and that on top was having a guy next to him as well that put up 1,000 yards. So he was putting production up with limited carries as other guys in the league get. So I think Jameer Gibbs is that dude. I think this is like a co-award, though, so I'll let you go.
Yeah,
Broder.
I mean,
it's a co-award.
I love Gibbs, and he's part of that group that had over 850-plus scrimmage yards and 10 touchdowns. One of the other guys in that group, another rookie, out of Iowa, tight end, Sam Laporta, breaks all kind of rookie tight end records. One of the best rookie tight ends, if not the best rookie tight end in history. Sam Laporta, 889 yards, 10 touchdowns on 86 receptions. What a year. He's been that number 2 to Amon-Ra St. Brown, that reliable security blanket for Jared Goff. He's impressed me the most in his blocking, but, man, what he can do in that passing game,
I mean, he's going to end
special.
up. I'm going to keep saying it, and I think it comes out tomorrow. And we were talking about this, that it might come out right before our show at like 7 o'clock as the All-Pro teams.
7 o'clock on the dot.
I think Sam Laporta deserves it, man. Like, he led all tight ends in touchdowns. Like, his yards are up there, his yards per game. Like, he has been dominant all year long. And I know there's some other dudes, but like, I think you have to give it to him over something. Like, as a rookie doing that, I guess now that I think about it, I did have the opposite argument for Amon-Ra and Puka Nacua.
Whatever, with new information or new positions, changes, whatever.
And it can be biased sometimes. We got the Booner path.
And Sam Laporta is the only one of those that didn't have a Pro Bowl quarterback or all-pro quarterback or something.
There we go.
Brock Purdy, baby.
Nick, what's up?
Love both of your guys there. I'm going to go a different route. Just an absolute dog in the secondary.
Hooker.
3 picks on the season, 13 passes defended, 7 TFLs, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble. The guy, Brian Branch. He's had 3 picks in 3 of our biggest games of the season.
I love it.
And they were all 1-score games. You think about that, he's stealing a possession there, especially the KC game with the pick 6. So Brian Branch has showed up in some really big spots. Wanted to show some love to.
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, show him that love, Nick. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to break. When we come back, we've got the last 5 or 6 awards here. We just did half of them. We'll come back and give the final awards here. Best glue guy, coach of the year, outside of Dan Campbell, by the way. It's like other coaches. Special teamer of the year, moment of the year, favorite player of the year, a lot of different ones we got coming here for the Woodward Nights Award Show.
You want to get high, start the year lifted, visit Dispo Dispensary today. They got exclusive new deals. They got everything you could ask for. A team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere. They got so much inventory from Michigan's variety of products. So just come through. Go visit Dispo Dispensary or order them on Dispo Dash today. New year, new deals, same plug. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Since '96, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. called the Feldman Advantage. They got 18 locations around Michigan, so there's got to be a dealership within striking distance of your home.
It's got to be.
You just got to visit Feldman Auto to find the location nearest you. But also, catch Woodward Sports there. Morning Woodward Show and Big D Energy every other Monday at the Novi dealership. It's what makes Feldman Chevrolet Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Shout out Feldman, man. I bought a car from Feldman.
Me too.
Welcome back. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys locking in with us. What are we at right now? 121. 30 more likes. Let's get to 30 more likes here in the next couple segments here. Everyone hit that like button. We're going to continue.
This might be the hardest one.
If you haven't liked the stream, what the hell are you doing?
Appreciate you, Jeff. It is the Woodward Nights Award Show. It's like the Grammys or whatever, all those different award shows. It's Woodward Nights one. Can we get some music rolling with it? Let's get into this next one.
It'll be quick.
Best glue guy on the Detroit Lions this season. Broder, who do you have?
Wide receiver Josh Reynolds. Woo. Confirmed by this last game how much he means to this team. But remember back, I know there was a stretch in the middle of the season where he wasn't getting many targets, many receptions. But at the beginning of the year, it was like 14 or 15 straight catches. All of his catches were for first downs. Big catches in the Chiefs home opener. Those first couple games of the year, he came up huge. Anytime you needed a first down, wasn't Amon-Ra St. Brown got his, Laporta got his, but it was Josh Reynolds in some of the biggest moments. And again, in the Saints game, the Saints came up with a big catch. Josh Reynolds, that's my glue guy.
I like that. I like that one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay on the offense too, though. I'm going to go the guy in the middle. What's happening? A score?
Yeah, Wings gave up a goal.
Man, they're talking about it. Maybe they'll take it away.
Maybe.
I'm going to go Frank Ragnow. I'm going to go Frank Ragnow. Do you guys remember when he was out and the Lions, that offense really, really struggled? Like, it was not good. Frank seems like to be that kind of glue guy, in my opinion. I know Penei is the best lineman on that team or on that unit. Frank is that middleman who calls everything out. He is like the heart and the voice of that whole offensive line and what they need to do, the whole team, to be honest. Mm-hmm. So I think without Frank, we saw without him. We haven't seen without Penei before, but without Frank, did not look good. Yeah. It looked like that was like a integral, wrong word there, but a huge piece of that offensive line that was gone. So I'm going to go Frank Ragnow.
Yeah, and I know we're moving quick, but I got to shout out. The Ronin said it too, but Marshall Romo first. Graham Glasgow. I know he struggled a couple games later in the season. Dallas was not so great for him.
He's been elite.
During those times when Ragnow was out, or when Vaitai or Jonah Jackson was out, having a guy like Glasgow was huge.
Coach of the year. Let's go through these ones quicker here. Coach of the year, I'll go first. I went Ben Johnson. I know that seems like an obvious one, but I say it all the time, like back-to-back top 5 offenses in the NFL. That's tough to do, especially in today's NFL, and he's been able to do that with the pieces he has, and he's been able to continue to be one of the best head coaching candidates in the NFL. I think it's hard not to go Ben Johnson. I'm sure you might have like a kind of a position group coach, I'm guessing. Who do you have?
You want me to tell you?
I would love.
I'll tell you right now. I was thinking maybe Mark Brunell, the quarterback's coach, and what he's done with Jared Goff, and another year with him. Steve Hyden, the tight ends coach, what he's done with Laporta.
You're going you just went multiple picks.
No, I'm just telling you where my head was leading, and I was about to go with those.
It up.
Then I was like, man, my favorite coach. Whenever I was out there watching practice, he's energy in their individual drills, and he led to a running back duo that was the best running back duo in the league. He's also the assistant head coach, Scotty Montgomery.
I like that.
That's my coach of the year, not named Dan Campbell.
I like that one. I like Scotty.
Do you guys agree?
I agree. Yeah, cool. I think Scotty's good. I think Scotty's a good one. I think before the show, I threw out Scotty as one of the options as
Scotty doesn't know, man.
Shout out Scotty. Special teamer of the year. Mine is the obvious one. Jalen Reeves-Maven. Germ deserves it. He deserves it. You just saw he got voted for the NFLPA All-Pro team. He probably would be an All-Pro for special teamers, I'm guessing, for the NFL if that's been the case. And he's gone to Pro Bowl. Like this year, he's kind of showed out and everywhere. Whether he's on punt team, kick return, kickoff, punt return, like. If he's playing just defense as a linebacker, like he has been elite at everything he has done this year, and a leader on top of that. I'm going Germ.
Love it.
Does Khalif get an honorable mention?
Yes, that's my guy.
Okay.
You're talking about Khalif?
Yeah,
Khalil Dorsey?
No, you're saying about Khalif Raymond.
Oh,
Come on now.
Come on.
Absolute dime from Germ in that Dallas game. Let's give him props on that. That was a great pass from a linebacker.
Who did he pass it to? Khalil Dorsey. Yes. But Khalif Raymond, you're right. He would normally be it. The fact that he really didn't get much opportunity running the ball back from a punt return perspective. He doesn't return kickoffs. This is probably the only reason why I didn't give it to him. But Khalil Dorsey, I remember that Chiefs game. He started this season so hot. Like he was the one. We've seen Germ in the second half of the season, or most of the season, be the one first down on punts, on kickoffs. Khalil Dorsey started the season hot, missed a couple games, but he's been Mr. Reliable, returning kickoffs when they allow him. Khalil Dorsey, that's my dog.
I like that. Moment of the year. I think there's one moment that trumps everything. And I said we were going to take it out, but I want to do it just to get
do it.
Moment of the year: Detroit Lions win the NFC North in Minnesota.
Bang!
Period.
Bang!
That is the moment of the year. Out of everything, there's so many different things that happen throughout the season. Great things, ups and downs. That was one of the best moments I think of all of ours, Lions career, and just as a fan, I had to put that in there. I was going to say,
do you have a 1B?
I just went. I didn't even think of anything else.
Okay,
I just
fair.
Right away just went NFC North.
Fair.
NFC North. NFC North.
I was thinking possibly the Riley Patterson walk-off against the Chargers, that field goal to beat them.
Chiefs win.
I was no, but I'm going to get there. But I am going to get there. My second one, my 1B. When Ryan Fitzpatrick called Jared Goff a poor man's Matt Ryan,
that's a good one.
There was some spark in this. I don't know. That was like a moment where we learned
him.
Yeah, we learned a little bit of the sauciness.
He confronted him on live national television.
I love it. But
KG?
I'm going with that branch. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you good. Mine would be the Dan Skipper catch the week after the Dallas game. I love the Lions trolling back at the NFL, man. Screw the NFL.
Epic. I'm going to go with the Brian Branch pick 6 in that first game.
Chiefs game. That's a great one, too.
Week 1. That really just turned that brought life to this whole season. Gotta have it.
I like
Most
that
improved?
One. Most improved. I'm going to hit you guys with one that you probably didn't think of. And a lot of people didn't like in Dallas. I'm going to go Derek Barnes.
That's a great one. I know the recency bias points to that Dallas game, the tough play.
If we're talking throughout the season, and everything, it's like last year it felt like a lot of people wanted him out of town. 47 tackles, and now this year he's doubled his tackles, and he's been a big piece of this defense, like a massive piece. Outside of that Dallas missed sack, if you just take that out, no one's saying anything negative about what Derek Barnes has done this year.
He's certainly improved and still improving. So, I mean, that linebacker crew.
Huge jump, man.
Deep.
He doubled all of his stats. Like he came out ready to go this year.
I'm going to stay in that group.
I love it.
It's a little off the beaten Booner path because normally it's a last year to this year. But I'm going to go with Jack Campbell for how he's improved throughout this season.
I like it.
We thought he was going to be that middle linebacker from day one, and I don't want to say struggle, but it took him a couple weeks to get going, and then over these last couple weeks, he's really hit his stride. More than 10 tackles in several of these games. He's starting to come into his own. I'm starting to see that middle linebacker of the future. Jack Campbell,
Paul Thomas said Derek Barnes was great until he got alligator arms in front of Dak. Yeah, that's like the only downfall of the year for him. That's literally it. That's all. I mean, to be honest, like even Ansel, you could say like he stepped up. Like that whole linebacking core might be the most improved.
Yeah, and if you think like since that game was all Jared Goff's fault anyway, Derek Barnes doesn't even factor into that Dallas game.
Yeah. What you said. All right, last award we have, favorite player of the year. We'll go around the room on this one real quick. We're going to break. I want to get everyone's in this room favorite player of the year. Broder, I'll start with you. We'll go around the room.
So I'm sort of not really supposed to have a favorite player, so I'm going to name the favorite player for the invisible man sitting behind me. I'm going to go with Cam Sutton. I know he's getting a lot of hate lately, but like from the start, he's just like everything that embodies the Lions and grit. He's helped out these young guys in the defense so much. I'm a big Cam Sutton fan. So there's this guy's favorite player.
Is it on
KG?
Me? Oh, I thought I was waiting for the invisible guy to toss it.
No, he can't talk. He's mute.
It's all good. Mine is Jai Gibby, man. Jahmyr Gibbs has been an absolute revelation for this team. I love seeing him run the ball, the way he runs the ball. He's become a way more patient runner, going later into the season and all that. And I'm just excited for what the hell he's going to bring in the years to come. Let's pray he stays healthy, but man, he is going to be something special. Nick, what you got?
And speaking of something special here, I got to go with the man that set the record for rookie receptions out of tight ends, Sammy Laporta. Sam Laporta has been electrifying all year. So much fun to watch in this offense. 10 touchdowns as a rookie.
Ooh.
This guy has been an absolute star. Drafted him in both of my fantasy leagues, and I won both championships. So, Sam Laporta, thank you not for just all the Lions happiness, but the cash to go with it. Thank you, Sam Laporta.
Straight cash, homie.
I love it. I'm gonna go mine here before we go to break.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with one of my friends, personal friend.
You got to.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is my favorite player this year. He has dominated all around. He is involved with the media. He's involved with fans. He is just he's been a great piece to this team.
He bleeds blue.
St. Brown, and on the top of that, he loves the Booner videos, and he's on the Booner path, and he's a confirmed. I don't know what is it, like a Booner fan?
A Boonie?
He's a confirmed
Booner.
A confirmed Booner fan. Amon-Ra
Booner,
St.
you
Brown
will forever be on his NFC
Instagram.
North Championship Instagram post forever.
It is confirmed he does know who I am personally now. So
that is confirmed.
That is confirmed. So Amon-Ra St. Brown is my favorite. I respect him, and he's going to be an all-pro wide receiver this year.
God hates cowards. We have multiple choices for every award. Tell me the Lions aren't good. Depth, baby. I love that.
Great. It's great.
It's hard to pick these.
Hey, when we come back, I'm going to tell you guys who the MVP is, though, or who could be in this MVP
Possibly.
race around the NFL that's on this Lions team that is not the quarterback. But let me tell you guys about Big Boy first. Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. And if you want some breakfast, the stuffed potato pancakes, they are back. They have the classic lumberjack or Santa Fe garden, and also the new apple pie hotcakes. They are too good to miss. And you can top it all off with the new gingerbread shake for dessert. All of that, if you want it, make sure you go stop by your local Big Boy today.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 12th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating. Always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
What happens when you're in a great business for over 50 years? You expand, you offer more. You do that, and you expand, you offer more products for more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. It's the same great service the customers have come to know and trust, located on Woodward Ave, just south of 9 Mile. You can also check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. So find the brand you want. More Goff, Les Stafford. Find them at lesstanford.com.
Hey! All right, welcome back.
How about it?
Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder on the Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate you guys tuning in here. If you guys haven't yet, hit the like button for us. Let's get to 150 here, about 15 away. 2 more segments to go. The fourth quarter for us, basically. We're in overtime like the Wings, except we're not going to lose. They lost. They did get a point, though. Shout out. That was huge. Getting a point is big, especially on those games. But I teased it throughout the day on the heavies, and I teased it throughout the show. And I did see a lot of people actually take the guess, and they were right. They were like, it's kind of obvious, and I think it is. But there's a player on this team that you could say, and you don't see these players a lot in MVP conversations or anything like that. This man is the number one player, not just at his position, but the whole offensive line. And that gives it away there. That is Penei Sewell.
Facts.
And I was doing some research today to kind of see where people were going to be voting on different awards and MVPs and everything. And Penei ended up being on one of those lists. And let's start it off here. I've got about 2 or 3 graphics for you guys so for us to break this down. And you guys see this one right here. This is one of the bigger ones, too. Because when you start talking about being the best player at your position, especially when you're at an offensive line, it's, hey, when you match up with the other great players on the other side, how do you do? And you see this graphic here. Versus Montez Sweat Broder, 34 snaps, 1 pressure. Max Crosby, who's in the consideration for Defensive Player of the Year, 21 snaps, 1 pressure. Danielle Hunter, who I believe almost led the NFL in sacks, 20 snaps, 1 pressure. And then another Defensive Player of the Year candidate, Micah Parsons, 19 snaps, only 2 pressures, no sacks out of all those guys, fellas.
He needs to get an endorsement deal from Verizon or AT&T. He puts these guys in a phone booth. Every time he's out there.
And you guys see this one here.
Oh my word.
He is the best, not just tackle per PFF in the NFL, not just tackle. He is the best rated offensive lineman this season with a 93.1 run block grade, 644 pass block snaps, and only allowed 1 sack all year. Now, fellas, that is elite. That is another level. That is something that you just do not see. And when you're talking about the best players in the NFL at only 23 years old, you could really, and I know offensive linemen are never in that MVP conversation because it's a skill position player.
Maybe they should be.
That you could argue what he did this year versus those elite players, and to being the best in the offensive lineman in the NFL, and on top of that, only giving up 1 sack all season long. You could say, hey, maybe he could get a couple votes for MVP. And then when I started thinking that, and I started looking at MVP, like where are people voting on that? I came across The Athletic. And The Athletic, what they do every year is they take about 20 to 30 of their NFL writers, and they vote on all of the awards throughout the NFL. And KG, you could throw it up whenever, but they voted on MVP. And guess who got a vote within that? Yours truly. At the bottom of the list there, Penei Sewell. Wow. And you do see Trent Williams right above him, which Penei is better than Trent Williams this year.
Yes.
He's been better.
But I like that they're both on there, regardless.
2 offensive linemen. Yes, they're at the bottom of the list. But they got votes, fellas. He got a vote for a 5th place vote at that, yes, but Penei Sewell.
Yeah, at what point do you give Trent Williams credit for having 2 MVPs above him, or Penei Sewell credit for the stuff Jared Goff and the running game does? Like, it's hard because it's one of 5 guys on the offensive lineman, but we watched Penei so closely this year. We see just how much of an impact he makes. And think of how many plays.
In his position. It's crazy.
The best. Think of how many plays we see him 20, 25 yards down the field, leading a rush, leading a screen, in the end zone, waiting for Jamison Williams, the fastest guy in the NFL. Christ, like, Penei Sewell is... Dude, he is so good. He is 23.
He's 23
He's
years old.
a child.
I was so shocked.
Respectfully.
I've seen a lot of those articles and a lot of people voting for MVP and all that. I was shocked to see like a lineman on that award, and then it's sitting there and it's Penei Sewell, and I was like, MVP conversation, Penei Sewell, like that is great. You don't see that ever. I know Trent Williams is right above him, but
I don't know if that was Colton Pouncey who did that vote, or if you're not allowed to vote for the team that you cover, but. Shout out to you if you did. Like, just bringing more awareness to Penei Sewell.
Like, imagine if the NFL MVP thing comes out and it's like Penei's like has a 5th place vote like that.
That'd be awesome.
That would be crazy. That would be nuts. Deserves it. 1 sack all year, man, and in over 600 passing snaps. Like and you're on the top 5 offense and in one of the best teams in the NFL. It's well deserved for him. I wanted to throw that out there.
I love it. Great for throwing that in.
But imagine if a guy like Penei Sewell ever gets in consideration. He's only 23 years old. He's got a long career ahead of him.
10, 15 years left.
Oh, my gosh, guys.
Can you offer a lifetime contract in the NFL, or does that screw up everything?
They should do it.
Why not?
Sign that, man. Just give him a check. Say, write whatever you want on it. We'll be in the back. Just let us know when you're done.
Yep.
That's it. Yep. All right, let's do mailbag. Everyone start dropping your questions. Anything you want to ask us, NFL, Lions. You can ask Broder something personal. Whatever you want. Ask me some
anything.
questions.
I'll answer honestly.
Let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's, though. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. You can register to win a trip of your dreams. An all-expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. They are open 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Lions fans, it's the moment we've been waiting for. After 30 years, the playoffs are here in Detroit. Come join us for the Ultimate Lions VIP tailgate party this Sunday, hosted by Bullseye Event Group and sponsored by Long Drink. As this will be happening as the Lions take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams. We got food, music, entertainment, and a chance to witness history. Let's roar together downtown at Eastern Market. Just go to Bullseye Event Group to get your tickets today.
Bullseye, baby.
Bullseye, baby.
That tailgate gonna be crazy.
Oh,
crazy.
Man. The playoff one. Oh, my God. I cannot imagine, man. I don't even know the tickets for it. I would love to. If I didn't have to do the pregame stuff, I would go down there for sure and go to Bullseye. I was down there week 1, and week 2. It was unbelievable. Welcome back, though, Woodward Nights. Appreciate you guys all tuning in on the Woodward Sports Network, the YouTube page, woodwardsports.com. If you're on the YouTube page, hit that like button for us. Are we at 150 yet, fellas?
148.
140. Everyone hit the like button. There's 190 people in here. Let's get to 175. 25 more likes if you haven't liked it yet here at the end of the show. We're getting to the mailbag, though. First one here for you, Broder. Off the top, John Hughes asked, Broder, do you think Lagoda plays?
I believe he does. I feel like he does.
Okay.
I'll just give you a simple answer right there.
I'll say this. I think he plays as well. I just think it's not going to be at the capacity we're used to. I think he ends up being a decoy, and he gets snaps, a lot of snaps, but he's going to take people out of the game.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Not a mailbag question, but a confirmation of one of my honorable mention moments of the year. God Hates Cowards. My favorite moment when Goff told Fitz that he didn't think he was a poor man's anything, and the rest of the set lost it.
That was great.
Yup.
That was great. The Ronin 99 said, Broder, what defensive surprises do you expect?
I don't know about surprises, but I just think we're going to see more blitzing. Like, I think this is Aaron Glenn's been building up to it. We've seen the safeties come. I think it's going to be just a heavy blitz day. Make it difficult. Make Matthew Stafford get rid of the ball early. Avoid the cornerbacks having to stick with them for more than 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And we'll see how effective it is, because getting out early to Cooper Kupp out the middle, like, that's a thing they do pretty well. So we'll see. I just think they're going to try to make you get happy feet. Matthew Stafford has happy feet.
Happy feet. Nicholas Earl said, just wanted to congratulate y'all on your natty. Appreciate that, Nicholas.
Thank you.
And then said, who wins on Sunday and by how much? Tune in tomorrow, 9:40. We'll do our score predictions at 9:40 tomorrow. Appreciate you tuning in, though, Nicholas, as always. Eduardo, though, this is one here. Do you think they should open the game up how Houston did against Indy? So Houston, when they first got the ball, it was a 75-yard touchdown pass from C.J. Stroud to Nico Collins. Ooh. I'm going to say this, though. I would love that. I think all of us would love a 75-yard touchdown to start the game.
To J-Mo
would love that. But just get into your offense and set the tone.
Yeah.
First play, boom, handoff, David Montgomery. Let him go get 6 yards. Second play, handoff, David Montgomery, another 5 yards. First down, bang, back, first down. Throw to Amon-Ra St. Brown, first down, bang. Now you're moving. Rhythm's going. You're in the playoff game. Butterflies all gone, and you're good. Instead of having to take a shot and then have a 2nd and 10 if you don't get it, and then potentially a 3rd and long. That's just me.
Play that game like Michigan versus Washington. Control the time of possession, control it with the run game from the start. Or throw a deep pass to Donovan Peoples-Jones if you're looking for a Michigan wide receiver to start the game hot.
Let's go. Speaking of that, fellas, wanted to ask you guys a question. Say we win the coin toss.
Grab the ball.
Grab the ball. Same. Yep.
They've been doing it the last couple weeks, and I love it.
Take the ball, no doubt about it. Do not let this Rams team get up 7-0.
Ball me, Blazer.
Art Vandelay said, is Dan Gamble showing up Sunday, or is he taking the points that are given to us? I'll say this. Dan will go for it on 4th down on this Sunday. Like, that is a guarantee. There will be a 4th down to where he looks at it and goes, stay on the field. We're going for it. Secondly, if there's a chance to take points, though, like inside the 25, 30, to where he trusts the kicker, the money badger.
I was about to say, do you trust Michael Badgley?
I think he takes the points. In the playoffs, I think time, like the Dallas game when you needed that to go to overtime. I think if it came down to something like that, he does take the points to go to OT. But
yeah,
I think he goes for it on 4th down a couple times.
Oh, he's going. Dan Gamble, I want him to be himself, but if you're within the 40-yard line and you're 4th and 10, 4th and long, just take it.
If I could make a bet on how many times he'll go for it on 4th down, I would do that, and I would say like 3. I think there's going to be multiple times.
Yeah.
Another one here. Phil said, "Is there a Booner path for all Detroit teams or just the Lions?" It's a great question. I'm going to tell you what. There's zero Booner path right now for the Detroit Pistons.
Right.
I don't think there's any path for that. Right now, it's like a roadblock. It's saying it's like a dead end. It's like turn the other way. For the Tigers, though, Tigers will win the division. Well, there's a little bit of a Booner path. Right now, it's just all focus. Right now, I have to have all the focus on the Detroit Lions path. We'll get into the Wings once the Lions path is finished, and we will have a path for next year for the Lions, but other teams will get one.
Definitely. Mailbag.
Eduardo said mailbag. Why? Don't know what that means.
Why not? That's what I'm going to respond with. Why not, Eduardo, my guy? Lorena Rios, mailbag. Will you tailgate with a wind chill of negative 20 degrees? I'm going to let the tailgate wins answer this, Booner.
We will be there. Deep, like 50 people deep. We're trying to figure out how we're going to set up the tents with all the wind. I think I saw 20-mile-per-hour winds. It's going to be absolutely freezing.
Bundle up.
Yeah, it's going to be insane. A lot of drinks, a lot of warm food, and a lot of layers is going to go into this tailgate. But you know what? The tailgate never loses. The tailgate always wins. See me down there around Ford Field. Say what up if you see me. Go Lions. Great energy in the air this Sunday night.
What up, Nick? Are you Nick from Woodward Sports?
What up, Boone?
Are you Mario?
Are you tailgate wins?
Oh, wow, man. Good to meet you. Can I get your
Yes, honestly, great vibes going in. I will not be here tomorrow. I am super sad about that. I got a lot of extended family into town. Love all you guys. Go Lions. See you Monday for Victory Monday. Let's go.
Hey, this one. I love Nick, man. The Banana Bad. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Does Ford Field get its first playoff win this Sunday?
Yes.
Tell you what, Banana Bad, they do. They get the job done.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to give our score predictions tomorrow. We appreciate all of you guys tuning in as always. As you leave, hit that like button. Let's get over 175 likes. Everyone hit that like button. Tomorrow's a big day. That is a big day. This is our Woodward Nights playoff pregame show tomorrow night. We're going to have Jeff Frady on. Maybe we'll try and get another guest as well, and we'll try and make sure we have a packed show for you guys tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune in to the Morning Woodward Show at 8 a.m. Big D Energy to follow. Armani Edwards with Maz after that. Heavyweights. And then 8 o'clock, we will be back and we will be live and ready to go. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you guys.